All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is. And right here, right now, we actually got a talented individual. We actually have Classik Mussik right here on the line. This man is a producer, an R&B artist, man. This guy is a jack of all trades. How are you doing this evening, Classik?
I'm blessed, man. Blessed. Just getting out the studio, man. Doing good.
Hey, man, I'm excited to actually hear what you're actually cooking up in the studio, man, because I already know whatever you go in the studio and make always comes out pure gold.
I appreciate that, man. You know, I'm trying to push out 24 karat gold shit. 10 karat, 14 karat, 3 karat, 18. I'm trying to do my best to stay between 18 and 24, you know. You got low vibe, you know, some low vibe surface level shit that's needed sometimes when you just want to have fun. But then the rest, man, you know, I try to put my life out there. You don't never know when your last day on earth or your last year or last decade. So I don't want my life to be unrecognizable when you leave here, man. If people don't know you existed, you pretty much a myth, no matter how great you was. You know, so I try to make sure I put my life in this music and put my soul out there so I can, you know, continue to live on even when my body is done.
And also, man, speaking of just being great, man, because I want to take you back to the year 2007, man, where you actually founded your own production company, Classik Mussik Productions, man. I was actually wondering, back in 2007, what actually made you decide to start up your own company? And of course, like, what services do you actually offer to the general public today?
Honestly, it's crazy you said that, man, because I don't even use that company no more. That was my first company, and I used it. It just upgraded. I actually had I was in jail, man, and I got out, and you know, the culture shock for me, and this reality check for me was basically stop bullshit. Make sure, you know, so I handle my business. Make sure I do what I can do while I'm free. Cause when I got out, I was on bond, and I was facing 45 years, man. And I started the company. I just thought I could speed up, and try to catch up for the things that I was lacking. I was always one foot in the streets, one foot in the music. So, you know, it takes a toll on you after a while. You realize to look up. You didn't, and you don't have your shit together. So I started the company, man. And just wanted to legitimize the beats that I was making. So in that sense of making beats, you know, anybody need beats for the music, for movie scoring, for films, anything like that, jingles, Classik Mussik production, boom, boom, boom. We got you still.
And also, man, in 2011, you were actually the opening act on Yo Gotti's Road to the Riches tour, man. Where I was wondering, how did that opportunity arise for you, man? And of course, what was one of your most fondest memories you actually have of being on that 42-state tour?
It was dope. We did a song. Called "Make a Play." And the company, well, the group I was with at that time, did that song, and then we went on tour with them. Man, I opened up, right before Gotti got on. It was us. Then Zed Zilla, which was his artist at the time, and then was Yo Gotti, man. Yeah, we toured a lot of cities and states, man. I got to see a lot of the U.S. in ways that I'd never seen it before, and I kind of build my core fan base off of that.
And I gotta say as well, going on a tour like that definitely would be great for any fan base, man. Especially being the opener as well, man. You know, because like you say, if people get tired halfway through the show, you know what I mean. You're the opener, so you already know they're gonna be there.
Yeah, I mean it's different when somebody see you, because Gotti was on the rise at the time. He had that song called Stack or Rack or some shit like that, and he was on the rise, man, and it was crazy. It was crazy how people, you know, just, it's weird to say, but people flocked to him, man, during that time. And believe it or not, for them to see you with him or see you with in that vicinity, man, you know, they looked at you like you was somebody, because this was this was pre-internet. Internet was popping, but it wasn't like it is now. You know, that was a long time ago, so that's like 2010, 2011, somewhere in there. So it was a whole different ball game. So we still had people still was around people. Everybody wasn't just buried in their phones at the time. So people really paid attention to you, and they didn't have it as quick access as they do now.
And I most definitely agree with that, man. I remember 2010, 2011 very clearly, man. It definitely was some different times. It just proves how much so little time can really change an entire globe, man. Because, like you said, man, it's definitely a different time today.
Oh, yeah, big time, big time. So it was kind of like that, man.
And also, as well, you were actually one of the in-house producers and writers for Oscar and Grammy winner Jamie Foxx. I was wondering, how did you initially get connected with Jamie Foxx? And of course, what was it like just actually being his producer?
It was more of a type of thing like, how can I put this? One of my guys, man, that was like my first manager. He knew Jamie's sister. I guess they went to school together. And was like this. I don't really know their history, but they went to school together, you know. And he pretty much hit me when I came off tour with Yo Gotti and was like, "Man, Jamie didn't love your song. He want the song." I was like, "What you mean?" And when he hit me with it, man, we flew out there, and Jamie started singing my song that I wrote. That he was trying to use for him and Jennifer Hudson. He started singing the song to me. You know what I'm saying? And it was a surreal moment. And honestly, working there, man, and demoing I demoed the records that he sung of mine, and made a lot of the beats and collabed on other producers on the beats, man. Some things came out, some things didn't, but it was dope. All in all, it was dope. It was a learning experience. It taught me a lot of who I am today, and why I am like I am today, and why I should be. To confirm that who I am today is somebody that's vibrant, still in music, and still got my head on right, got my mind in check. You know what I'm saying? So, all in all, man, it was a real learning curve, being in this camp.
And it must have been mind-blowing as well to actually just be in front of Jamie Foxx, like hearing him actually sing your lyrics, man. It must have been just a monumental moment for you, especially within your career.
Yeah, that part was, yeah, for sure, man. I grew up, of course, a fan of Bros and fan of Fox's, man, and I went to not to get too into the sad story shit, but my family and I, man, we spent some time of our life homeless. And we stayed at this shelter that allowed us to have a little bit of time to watch shows. And it was enough of us. It was like 4 kids. So we each got to watch the show. And we really merged them together because we all liked some of the same shit. And my favorite show was the Jamie Foxx show. I watched it every day. And then on weekends I watched I Love Lucy. And so to be a preteen or somebody that I wasn't even a teenager yet going through that and watching this show, then all of a sudden I'm living with them. That was the mind-blowing part.
And I gotta say, man, I'm glad that you actually had that opportunity, man, because not a lot of people really get the opportunity to actually meet their heroes, or even individuals that really helped them get through a difficult time, man. So it's definitely a moment that I actually look back on and just reminisce.
Yeah, it is. He was a guy who reminded me. How can I put it? He was a guy who really just put me in perspective on knowing that what I wanted to be. Like, I already knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know that I could really do all the different things that I was good at. And him being a singer, actor, all those different things, it put in perspective for me, like, oh shit, I can do that. I can do all those things too. He was the first person I knew that done all those things and could actually sing, could actually play instruments or compose records, and actually act as well and be funny. I can do all the same things that he do. So it just gave me hope. And so I used to be like, man, if I ever meet Jamie Foxx, I know, we'll be cool or some crazy shit gonna come out of the relationship, or I'll at least be good because he gonna look at me and hear my story and be like, man, you remind me of me. And it didn't quite work that way, but it didn't quite work that way. But I still learned what I needed to learn and got what I needed out of seeing that manifest in my life like that.
And also as well, man, November 15th of 2014, you actually released my personal favorite record by you, and it's actually titled Genius and Karma, man. I was wondering, what was the story behind that iconic release, and of course, is it actually still available to actually be streamed today? I saw it on Apple, but I was wondering, is it on more than just Apple Music?
Yeah, Genius and Karma. I took it down. I severed my relationship with this company called TuneCore. I think they snaked. I don't like their company. They tried to lock me into a little situation, man, and I got out the situation. This hell, it's always easier to get into something, and it's harder to get out of it than anything you do. So, when I got out of the situation, took all my music down, so I had to re-upload it back up. But it's up. It's up for everybody to hear. Genius and Karma is the first album, my first professional album, all the way mixed and mastered, everything like that, put together. I produced every record. My father died right before I put it out. You know what I'm saying? He passed right before I put it out. And it was pretty big, man. He really inspired me, to put it out and do my best. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really I was gonna put it out anyway, but I was just holding the records, man, and selling them to other people. And he was like, man, you need to put some shit out for yourself. What about you? He always teased me, man, he ain't doing nothing, you ain't gonna do nothing. Just kind of using reverse psychology, making me, because he knew I had that drive in me to be like, I'm gonna prove you wrong and everybody else. But all in all, he always knew I would be something. And so when we passed that threshold, and he heard all the music that I was doing, he didn't want me to give it all away to everybody else. He wanted me to put it out for myself. And I thought about it, because that's how I started anyway. Then he was like, man, you got to. And so when he passed, I dropped Genius and Karma. And so it was more of a real emotional time for me and a milestone to go ahead and put my own album out and step into those shoes as well, because I stepped away from them. I got used to doing everything for everybody else, and I finally, sometime in life you got to really understand you can do so much for everybody else, but if you're not straight, then they really ain't straight. You really can't do what you would like to do for everybody else if you don't make sure you good. So me doing that really taught me that I can step back and realize sometime, or really step back and analyze my shit and take care of me, and then make sure everybody else is good. Because even though I put out my own music, I still write for everybody. I still do the things that I'm prominent at, but I now know how to balance both. You know what I mean?
And also, you have actually had the opportunity to work with ABC and the Jimmy Kimmel show. I was wondering, can you tell our listeners about the story behind that opportunity? And of course, what was it like being on the set of the one and only Jimmy Kimmel?
It was pretty cool. I never really got on the set. I did we recorded in the Hanson Studios, the legendary Hanson Studios, from the the Muppets. It's a lot of companies. It's a lot of shit came out of there. Elmo, the Muppets, Sesame Street, if I'm mistaken. A lot of Jim. I want to say Jim Henson. I mean, that's a big studio, man. Everybody can't get there. Honestly, that before I even get into the Jimmy Kimmel, that itself, you know what I'm saying? Jim Henson was a puppeteer, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, the Muppets, so many things came from him. Sesame Street, the Muppets, and so many other things. Being in that studio That's also the same studio that they recorded "We Are the World" out of. And so I was a big fan of that shit, man. I watched those videos over and over again of Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, and Quincy Jones, and just some of my favorite people, singers and artists. So Cyndi Lauper, there's a lot of people in that. Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, I could go on. Whitney Houston, oh my God, so many people. And I actually was in the same room that they recorded "We Are the World," and I felt like I could feel their energy or something. When I first walked in, I see their pictures, and then the tape decks that they used to record that. And then I end up in the same recording studio room that recorded "We Are the World" in, and it was because we were doing the Jimmy Kimmel thing, and that was legendary and monumental within itself. And then meeting Jimmy Kimmel and Miley Cyrus and people that was involved, some people that's still involved with the Jimmy Kimmel show, also was there, man, and it was dope. The studio session I had with Channing Tatum at Jamie Foxx's house. We freestyled, we kicked the shit, man. I got video footage of us freestyling. A lot of people there, some legendary people down there. It's huge, man. Let me see. April Jones, she pretty big now. I know you know who that is, right?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Legendary.
Gabrielle Sudeikis, she was involved. She wasn't at the house, though. Olivia Moon. Oh my God, she's one of the most talented people I ever met in my life. I literally Olivia Moon do so many different voices. She is an incredible actor. I don't think she's getting her just due. She's on the X-Men and all that, but she is like one of the most incredible actors I ever met in my life. She's not. I don't think she's getting her just due. But she is, she amazing. She was a part of the show, the comedy spoof as well, but it was being in the studio with her and watching her. She done every language and every voice that Russian voice, German voice, everything, England. She was phenomenal. She was phenomenal, man. It was a dope experience. Shout out to Perps on the Beat, you know what I'm saying? It was a dope experience, man. It was crazy.
And I gotta say as well, like, being down here in Canada, we don't get a lot of that cool stuff, so we don't really get the opportunity, even if we wanted to go buy tickets to go to one of those late shows, we gotta cross the border and whatnot, man. So, you guys in America are very blessed to have a lot of those amazing opportunities, whether you're a fan or, in your case, man, you got to work with the actual show people, man, so that's even better than actually buying a show ticket.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But also as well, man, in 2017, you were actually announced by Dallas News as #1 R&B artist. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that. And of course, man, how does it feel knowing you are recognized by the city that you grew up in?
That's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I think, I don't know, man. Sometimes to me, sometimes that's smoke and mirrors, man. Smoke and mirrors. You don't really. I don't know. It's not quite what you would expect as far as being recognized by them. Because I live in a city where you can get recognized by them, and then you can get tore down by them as well. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just this city. I think most places where you come from, you should take all praise with a grain of salt, and all drama. We'll stay above it. None of a lot of that shit means something, and it don't mean something. I just think you find your confirmation and your glory out of it, and keep it pushing. Don't dwell on it too much. I think it's dope. I think it was dope that they recognized me for that, though.
And also another amazing producing credit that you have, and I gotta say first and foremost before I get into this question, man, your producing credits are just phenomenal, man. The list most definitely runs deep, but the one thing that really stood out to me, man, was one of your producing credits for the one and only Ace Hood, man. I was wondering, how did yourself and Ace get connected, and of course, what was it like just being in the studio and working with him? I never met Ace. It was a situation where somebody sent him some beats from me, man, and he liked the beats. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
I don't think the song ever came out, but it was dope. Just knowing that that he liked the music of mine. Coming from where I come from, you don't have a lot of confirmation on who like your music, who don't. You got to kind of wait and see. Wait and see who what comes about it, man. And it turned into a lot of people all over the country like my music, man. So I got the confirmation that I need, but it was from people like him, Jamie Foxx, different people I worked with. I think Ace is a phenomenal rapper. So to hear him like my beats, man, was pretty dope for me.
And also, last year, August 28th of 2020, you actually released the monumental project titled Side B that actually just reached 500,000 streams as of yesterday. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners about this phenomenal project, and of course, if they haven't already checked it out, where can they actually snag themselves a copy today?
Side B is on everything, man. Every site you can think of. Yes, it's one of my. It's crazy because I did a trilogy called Burn Bridges, and there's 3 albums, a book, and a TV show. So I'm putting everything together. The first album came out in 2019. It's crazy because I recorded a lot of it in a hotel because I was transitioning from moving, and I just didn't want to be slowed down or stopped. And I did a lot of it in a hotel, the mixing and a lot of other shit, and it came out and everybody flocked to it. I got everybody's attention. Then when I dropped Side B, which is the second version of Burn Bridges, people flocked to it. Something vicious, man. And then I put 23 songs on there. I got a remix of the song "Play" with Yo Gotti, which was also on the charts. I got a plaque coming in for that. It's on the album. And the album reached 516,000 streams. Got verified of yesterday. My streams got verified so I can get my plaques and get everybody involved. The beauty of that album is the fact that everybody involved gets to get a plaque. Some of these guys are the underdogs that don't get recognized. And some of us may get recognized or may not forever. And I'm honored to be able to get some of these guys their first plaque and they first, semi-successful projects, man. I guess it's all how you look at success. But to me, it was a successful project. Somebody else may not see it that way because it don't have millions, but I believe it's headed to that direction. And just the milestone that it has is big. I never had an album do that big, that good, and I don't think nobody involved has. So it's big for all of us, man. I'm honored to be the vessel that could bring it together.
And I gotta say as well, man, congratulations on that as well, man, because 500,000 streams is monumental. So the way it's going, man, because you said it's actually at 516,000, if I'm not mistaken, what you just said. So it's on its fast track to becoming 1 million.
Yeah.
But also as well, one of your most recent releases was actually August 1st of this year, where you released the single Slide from My Side that I'm actually going to be playing immediately after this interview. So I was wondering if you can tell our listeners what can they expect from this song if this is their first time actually hearing it.
It's a cross between hip hop and R&B and Latin music. I kind of merged them together, man. And I gave a song with different elements. The song "Slide from My Side" is real lyrics, authentic lyrics, and feel, and mixed with, a song that just jam, man. Like, some songs out there that you can hear, you can tell the technique is cool, but then you got other songs that you hear and you just know this shit jam. It's one of those songs mixed with the heart and soul. It's got a lot attached to that song, man. So when you hear it, I think if you're a music lover and you really love music, you're gonna love this song.
And I gotta say, I've been jamming to this track all day, man. So I already know the radio station listeners all over the world and on the FM dial, man, are definitely in for a treat when I spin this record.
Yeah, that song is crazy to me. I enjoy it. I big time enjoy it. Even though I made it, I got kind of like a little luxury to be able to hear my songs as if I wasn't the one who created them. I know it sounds weird, but I actually do. I listen to these songs as if I wasn't the person to create them.
And I gotta say as well, it's a good way to actually listen to your music as well. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people say, everyone is their own critic, right? So you know what I mean. That way, if I look at it like this, if you're satisfied with your craft, I think other people will be satisfied with it as well, because everyone's their own worst critic.
Oh yeah, big time. You better be. If you're not, you ain't ready.
But also, I gotta ask, man, because I know, like I mentioned in this interview, we talked about a lot of it, but I already know your roots run so deep within the music industry. But I have to ask, man, what is next for the one and only Classik Mussik? Is there anything we missed? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still have you here live on the radio station airwaves this evening.
My new single drops September 11th. It's called Perception. It's an acoustic song. No, not many drums, no drums. Just acoustic, kind of a curveball for my listeners and fans. Something I want people to remember. I'm an '80s guy, you know what I mean, and I love the '70s, love the '60s in music, but I'm an '80s guy, '70s and '80s. But as a human, I was born in the '80s, and so '90s is the era that I loved personally, because I grew up in, and as a kid, man, I think many people can relate to this. The world sets you up. You don't really, the way America does things, the schools they run us through, the systems we get ran through, how everything's usually set up, we don't get to really have a good case of life, like a good perception of life. We don't get to really, know what life is, and know that by the time you get old enough to be a part of the world that you can't wait to be a part of, it won't exist. So this song that I put out September 11th is coincidentally in conjunction with September 11th, the catastrophic events that happened, and this type of song coming out. I didn't even plan this. I didn't realize that till today. And we just did the instrument today. I've been having this song for years. I put a snippet out of it on my Instagram years ago, and now it's finally time to be released. And I'm excited about it. I think it's a curveball. It's something that people should really... I'm dropping a single every month. Let me say that too. Every month, on the 11th or the 22nd, you know what I'm saying, of each month, I'm dropping a new single until my album come out. My album come out in February. February 22nd at 2:22 p.m. 2022. I dropped 22 songs.
I gotta say, I like how you did that, man, because everything is 22 throughout the board, man. I like that. It's catchy, and it definitely will catch some eyes.
Yeah, 21 is you officially grown, you're official. A lot of people don't talk about the age 22. At 21, you're official. 18 is a milestone. 21, you're officially an adult. At 22, you know what I mean? That's the next step. That's the in-between. That's the transitional stage. That's the, okay, I'm not 21 anymore. Stop celebrating and get your shit together. And my album is called Burn Bridges 3, Vibes Don't Lie. You the first, I didn't put the date out there yet, so you got the exclusive on the date. You and the Source magazine, y'all the only ones know what date that my album come out on.
Hey, man, you know what? I appreciate that, man. I really do, man. And I gotta say, I'm definitely looking forward to that record, man. I'm not gonna lie, you even have me intrigued, man, because it sounds like an amazing project. So we're connected on Facebook and whatnot, man. So whenever that does drop, I'll definitely be hitting you up, man. And hopefully you bring out some hard copies. I know they're kind of CDs are kind of a thing of the past, but if you slide out some hard copies, man, I'm definitely gonna buy a couple.
Yeah, I do hard copies on demand, and I do of course, the digital, but I do hard copies on demand. So anybody need them, just let me know how many or whatever you need, and I'll get it shipped to you. But man, I promise you, this album is something vicious, man. It really is. It's something vicious. Like I said, it's called Burn Bridges 3, Vibes Don't Lie, and the vibes are heavy, man. I put so much into this project, and it's no joke, man. No joke. It's nothing light about it. It's nothing easy about it. and I'm not cutting any corners to. I'm not making any more music just because I need to fit into a certain group. Now I'm back to making music. Like you mentioned, Venus and Karma. Ironically, that album I was doing what I felt like doing. I wasn't trying to appease the industry. I was just doing what I felt like doing. And now I'm back there, but a little bit before that, where music was fun for me again, and not just my livelihood. It's back being something that I use to express and escape the world. When you get tired of the world, a lot of us don't have places to go. You know what I mean? A lot of us don't have the money to pick up and go to Hawaii. So you get tired of the world that you live in, and we don't get a chance to go do something different. You know what I mean? Music is that for me. Music is my expression. It takes me out of the life that I'm known, that I'm prominent of, and I know, and I'm able to live and create in a different world. And that pretty much sums up the album. I'm back to you get to hear the different worlds that I travel to and live in, my thoughts, my pains, my hurts, my regrets, my passions, my drives, and my hopes. You get it all.
And Classik, this is the time in the interview, man, right before I wrap things up, that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves. Just like a chance to give, like, shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. But most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything Classik Mussik if they're not already doing so.
CLASSIK, again, that's CLASSIK, MUSSIK. You can find me on any social media site that exists.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Classik, thank you so much, man, for just giving us a little bit of your time this evening, coming on, sharing some amazing stories, and also telling us about your up-and-coming and new projects, man. It was definitely an honor and such a privilege to welcome such a talented and self-made living legend on my radio station airwaves this evening.
Thank you, man. It was an honor being on here, and I appreciate you, man. I hope to be back one day.
Hey, man, most definitely, man.
I definitely have to come back.
Hey, man, anytime when your new record drops, we'll definitely set something up, man. You're always welcome on Outlaw Radio FM.
Okay, for sure, man. I look forward to it, brother. Thank you.
You're most certainly welcome, man. Have yourself a wonderful night. Thank you so much.
All right, my brother.